What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Dave B. You watching DaveBeyondTV, where we go beyond the everyday bullshit that people be consuming on a day-to-day basis. And real quick, I'm gonna make a longer video for Mercury and Pisces, but I did want to say this, and I didn't really put it in the video with the full moon, but be careful with Mercury and Pisces, because I was talking a lot about like some of the benefits of it, because it can reshape your brain, your mind, to be a lot more in tune with some of the more intuitive aspects of yourself, being in tune. So it's, if you're in the right space, you got the right morality because you've been planting the right seeds, you've been doing the right things. And when I say the right things, I really just mean you've been being true to you. You've been honest to yourself, and you've been, doing your shadow work, and you put yourself in a position where you're comfortable with your thoughts, and you're allowed, it's almost like you're sitting with your feelings, and you're sitting with your thoughts, and you're able to kind of feel like they're, not necessarily a part of you, but you feel like yourself. It's almost like thinking like yourself. If you kind of been planting the wrong seeds, you ain't been as honest with yourself, it's going to kind of feel like imposter syndrome almost. It's going to feel like every thought you have kind of go against a different desire that is hiding itself within you. And that's kind of like the more dramatic, that you probably not even gonna feel that type of energy until Mercury kind of get closer to I ain't even gonna say when Mercury passed Saturn, when Mercury gets into late degrees Pisces, because we start hitting the different the decans. When we hit the Scorpio decan of Pisces, that's when you're gonna start thinking like that. You're gonna start seeing the depth of what it is that you actually invested in as a belief system or a moral system. But what I wanted to just kind of make aware is that it can get very easy to forget, be very forgetful towards the very same things that keep your life running. That's that sixth house. We can't lose track of the sixth house. We can't forget our responsibilities. We can't forget to take a shower every day. We can't forget to just clean things on a daily basis. We can't forget the daily tasks, the things that keep us moving, responsibilities. And I'm saying those real common responsibilities that relate to health, but I'm also talking about responsibilities that like paying your car bill, or paying bills, going to work to make sure you can get those things paid and taken care of. Right now is that Mercury and Pisces time where you just can get forgetful based upon how many beautiful things are on your mind, or how many scary things are on your mind. You can just forget, and you can be so invested in what you're creating internally that you forget that the external needs maintenance too. So keep that in mind, keep that on track, and don't lose sight of what you've been building. You want to use this energy with Saturn. You don't want to forget Saturn or put Saturn on the back burner because you're having a little too much fun escaping somewhere inside your mind. If I'm not mistaken, I think a retrograde coming up. I don't know if it's yet. It might be in like April. So I don't know, but that's just one thing to keep in mind. Mercury going to Pisces is not actually where it does the best. When it's not to say that energy is going to be negative. You could flip that and make it the most creative thing in the world. But the question is, are you paying attention to the right things within that space? And it becomes confusing because the right thing is going to feel like the wrong thing, and the wrong thing is going to feel like the right thing. So you got to kind of just be aware of that double-edged sword, and make sure you do your due diligence just to keep that energy where it needs to be at, aka directing your mind towards things that is leading towards you, creative things, not delusional things. You're not magically gonna get that dream built or get into that position by continuing to do the same thing that got you in the space in the first place, to be like, damn, I should have just locked in, or I should have just did this earlier. I should have just stood on business back then. I should have just, I shoulda, woulda, coulda, face ass. So don't put yourself in that space. Make sure you're ahead of the game, so that you can make things work for you. Why is people at my house? Who is this people? Oh, it's a block party. That's crazy. It ain't mine though. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's very important things to keep in mind. You know, Mercury in Pisces is one of them placements that, you know, things can either go real good and lead to prosperity, or things could take a turn and you could just, you know, damn, I had it. It was all good just a week ago. I had it. I just had it. I thought I had it. Yeah, you thought you had it. That Mercury shit in Pisces is very elusive. Is that a deer, man? That shit kind of creepy. I ain't gonna lie. That nigga just standing in the middle, man. I don't know what's going on there. It's full moon vibes. Gotta get in the crib. But, you know, just little Mercury things, you know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Don't let the elusiveness, don't let your mind get too slippery. Because that's what happens. It's like when Mercury's in Pisces, everything on your mind, it's like your mind got soap on it. So everything you try to get a hold of and understand, you know, when you try to grasp an understanding of something, it slipped right through your hands. So you have to maneuver your mind like you would your hand if it had soap on it. You know what I'm saying? And you trying to hold soap. You understand that the tighter you hold on to it, the worse your grip becomes. When you know what I'm saying, when you a little more you allow it to flow and you give it room to breathe, things you have, ironically, not ironically, but you have, you know, a better grip on it. Well, maybe it is ironic. I don't want to overuse their word, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying, you have a better grip on it. So it's like you have to kind of consider that what you might be used to over concentrating and over focusing on, over analyzing, if you do that bullshit now, it's not going to work the same. And you're actually going to get further from understanding what it is you're looking at. It's like art, abstract art. You got to take 10 steps back, cock your head to the side, and sit there for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to how you going about analyzing things, especially if you got these energies with, you know, especially if you're like a natural air earth sign, you got to be extra aware that like your awareness at this point, or your calculation skills, are going to be off. And the harder you go in trying to concentrate, the worse it's going to become. So the best thing to do is kind of to, you know, let go of some control, and then, you know, learn how to see things. Like, you might think to get clarity, you have to look directly at the thing. Learn how to gain clarity by looking around something, understanding the surrounding of it, that what makes it up to be in that position, in that space. It's like, I know it sounds weird how I'm saying it, especially because I'm just trying to make this video quick, but it's like you have to understand what's happening. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand. And Mercury and Pisces, the tighter I hold on to this, the harder I try to concentrate, the more I'm going to lose it. The more you're going to lose concentration, the more you're going to be distracted, the more you're going to come to a conclusion that, you know, in order for it to make sense, you had to go so against the nature of the very same thing that you're looking at. You know, and this is like misinterpretations, how things lead to misinterpretation. You know, I mean, think about how bastardized the world is based upon misunderstanding, misinterpretation. Somebody told me something that I heard from the grapevine, or somebody told me something they heard from people that was up the street that they don't even really know. You know what I'm saying? That you know what I'm saying? So you have to understand that everything you're trying to analyze and understand, you have to take a different kind of approach, one that's a little more abstract. You know what I'm saying? A little more abstract. Be a little more curious in an innocence sense. You know what I'm saying? In a childlike sense. Be curious. Don't be critical. You know what I'm saying? Try to be more curious than critical. Try to be more what's a good one? Like, try to be more you know, allow yourself to, you know, wonder, and not want, you know, it might turn into wandering, but you got to let yourself wander a little bit so that you can understand why you're going the direction you're going. That's what people don't understand also about Piscean energy. It might seem like a Pisces is wasting time in that space, just wandering, and it very well might be the case for a lower octave Pisces, but, you know, Pisces always finds its way, you know, in the sense of like, you know, it needed to wander, because in the science behind, or the reason for wandering is to derive a meaning and reasoning. You know what I'm saying? You're soaking in something long enough to understand why it is that way. You know, oh, water is wet. You know, kind of like the wandering is to see what's around. And then after a while, though, just like anything else, it has to transform. So eventually you're going to come to a conclusion of, okay, let's stop wandering. Now that I've seen my, you know, where I'm at, I'm going to go in this direction. You know what I'm saying? And that's sometimes what it takes. Sometimes, you know, that process could take way too long. So even if you are in that space, say you're going through that kind of phase in your life, you have to understand that's what you're going through. And it's like, you know, life has to go its course anyway. So it's not anything that you could really do to, you know, it's not like about speeding up the process. Again, it's just acknowledging it. That way you can make an honest decision for yourself and not feel pressured to decide prematurely, because that's sometimes what happens too. And sometimes we got to make the leap. Sometimes we got to do those decisions. That's how life be. We have to show up, you know what I'm saying, regardless, especially if you, well, I'm not going to say that, but, you know, there's just times to use masculine energy, time to use feminine energy. And sometimes the masculine just needs you to act on things. And you really can't let life just pass by too. You know, the sun got to shine, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to figure out your way to bring things to the surface, even when you feel like you're not prepared. It's not about that, but it is understanding that sometimes what you're doing is not to feel guilty about the things that you do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we all know what we do that we need to stop doing, you know, but don't, you know, I don't know. Shame could be a great, you know, I don't know. This ain't about that. We ain't talking really about shame and all that shit. That was, you know, but anyway, Mercury and Pisces, like I said, I'm gonna make a longer video going way deeper into a lot of these different dynamics. But, you know, again, our minds are about to be playing tricks on us. They already are. So be very aware of just what kind of tricks that you're prone to create for yourself, because all of these things are coming from your subconscious. So all the tricks that, you know, be prepared to be on your bullshit mentally, and just know that you on your bullshit so that you can correct yourself, or you can see what that serves as a purpose. Because again, it might be something in which you need, you know what I'm saying? It might be serving a purpose, and you can decide and discern for yourself whether or not that purpose is worth it. Is it aligned with who you are truly? And is it doing something beneficial that can lead to positive outcomes in your actual life? Because, you know, you need to be considerate, and you might not give a fuck about how it affects other people, but you need to be a little bit considerate. It's Pisces season. Be a little considerate about what your mental illness puts on, as far as who other people are experiencing too. Be aware a little bit, like, damn, like, you know, don't just be walking around with a mental illness and no straitjacket. Like, understand, like, yeah, I got this mental illness, so you know what? Before I go to the party, I'm gonna slip this straitjacket under my suit coat, so that, you know what I'm saying, I'm just gonna put it under the hoodie, so it's like I can restrain myself if necessary, and ain't nobody gotta pull me out the party because I'm too drunk and I'm off my meds and stuff like that, and now I'm wilding. You know what I'm saying? Don't be wilding for respect right now. Just chill. You know what I'm saying? Chill out. Understand when you going too far, and make the accommodation so people ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying? It's one thing. It's always way more respectable when you the one who chill yourself out versus somebody gotta pull you aside. Like, damn, like, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even had to do that. Now you done made them have to pull you aside. They had to stop their good time fun because you was wilding, and you just needed to be checked. And it's like, check yourself, you know what I'm saying, before you wreck yourself. Much love. Catch you on the next one.